Daniele Ippolito is a versatile Italian composer and electronic music artist known for his distinctive synthesis of ambient, synthwave, new age, dark wave, progressive, and soundtrack styles. And he's on the line with us here. How are you today?
Hello, Toby. I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm excellent, thank you. So, can you tell us the journey of how you got started in music, especially with the synthesizers at the age of 15?
So the first record that introduced me to music was actually Take On Me by Aha. So yeah, everything started from there. I got really passionate to synthesizer. So when I was a teenager, I started to play. My first synthesizer was actually a Roland D10. So I started to learn synthesis and learn piano as well. And then that's the way it started my trip in the music, I would say.
Yeah.
And well, step by step, I always get more close to progressive music, ambient music, thanks to composers like Hans Zimmer, Jean-Michel Jarre, Tangerine Dream. So that's why my music is it has this kind of inspiration, I would say.
And your first track, Riddle, was released when you were 21. So, what inspired you to take that step and release that track?
So the inspiration of that track was actually my first monophonic instrument, which was an Arturia instrument. I really wanted to have a mood which was straight in the track, with no vocals, anything, but with a pad which sounds like a talking. So the track was my first release ever, and that was my first step in the music industry. I would say that so far it's probably one of the most track that I most love. So I still love the track as much as I did.
How do you view that early work in the context of your current musical style?
Well, this is an interesting question. Well, my music style. It's very hard to say that my music genre is could be a specific genre because my music view it's it's an open-minded music view if you get me. So I don't work under a specific genre, but I have many influences. So my view is about the music industry, especially. It's that kind of view that I don't really follow any commercial lines. So I just like to compose and work and produce something where I feel something. So behind any composition, there's always be a communication, a content behind. So once I have some content or happens in my life and I feel like I have to communicate something, that's the time to compose something for me.
And your first album, Sounds of the Vice, explores 80s sounds with an aim to rediscover the sound of Miami. And you actually lived in Miami. So how did living in Miami influence your musical direction?
Well, it did a lot, especially at that time. Miami was such a beautiful personal experience to me, honestly. And I went there twice actually. The last time I was there was just before the COVID-19, and the style of Miami really changed my. It's actually weird because Miami right now is full of reggaeton music, which is this kind of music from Latin America, and I really wanted to rediscover the style of Miami during the 80s. This tracks from Hello Fatemir were to me very inspirational at the time when I was a teenager. So what I wanted to do with Vice City is just to rediscover that sound, rediscover that guitar style, rediscover that atmosphere, and that's how Vice City was born.
How do you think your style has evolved since then?
My style evolved with my learning steps. I mean, it's always a process since I was actually a teenager till now. So I always learn something of new music. I always have good collaborations. I always have people around me that give me inspiration. So the music evolved like I actually personally do evolve. And right now my sound just got evolved. For some reason I'm going into dark wave music or a dark sound. I don't really have an explanation of why,
Yeah.
honestly. But this is how it is going right now.
And your style spans across ambient, synthwave, new age, dark wave, progressive, and soundtrack genres, as I mentioned. So, how do you navigate such diverse styles? And do you have a particular favourite genre or style that you enjoy working on?
Interesting question as well. So it really depends on what I'm listening to. So I honestly like to listen to my records, and there are periods where I'm very, very close to ambient and new age music, and other periods where I'm more close to dark wave music or synth pop music. For sure, what I mostly like is to work in ambient and new age music because I just find it more fun, if you get me. I mean, it's just synthesizer music, so I don't really make it with guitars, I don't really make it with vocals. It's just synthesizers and samples. I like to use natural samples as well. So I like to go and record what the nature could offer to us in terms of sounds. And yeah, that's my ambient music. So ambient music is for sure the music which I love more to compose.
And your music has received critical acclaim, and you've even won awards for your contributions to cinematographic projects. So, how do these external recognitions impact your artistic journey? Do they influence it?
Absolutely, yes. Well, my award was won by from a project which was not a music genre which I'm really into. So with this director, I used to work with classical music for a psychological movie, and if you can imagine it, the composition is with piano, strings, a section of flutes, and which was a new journey for me. Was something of new. So I remember we spent together 1 year to work on that project, and it was just a short movie, but it was really, really interesting. It gives me a nice, interesting point of view, which I never had before, honestly. But right now, it still have an impact on my music career because, of course, when you have an award, when you have something which you, at the end of the story, you really want, so it's easier for my career to pursue myself when I do have like live gigs or something. So it's the impact is such important. Yeah, I would say it's even more than the streams in Spotify on digital platforms, if you can imagine. But it's still not my kind of genre. It's still not my kind of music. But it's interesting to work and to collaborate with other kind of musics because it gives you the chance to open your mind.
Now, what are you working on at the moment? Is there anything else coming up?
Absolutely, yes. So my project now is to come out with a new album in 2024.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm working on mixing and mastering for all the tracks, and I'm still thinking about some ideas about video. Because for every project I have, I like to make videos. I like to think about videos, think about the graphics. So I'm still at the start, but that's my project now.
Brilliant. Well, in the meantime, where are we able to find all the stuff that you've came out with so far?
Pretty much everywhere in the digital world. So Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, Deezer, Apple Music, every music platform, plus physical copies with records and CDs in every country of Europe, Amazon, and many other shops around Europe.
Brilliant. Well, many thanks for talking to us today. It's been great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Toby, for your time.